Hello guys, MonkeyBot here, and today we've got the patch for 4.2, which will be releasing tomorrow. So we're just going to go through the highlights. I'm not going to go through everything because I don't want to be here for an hour talking about it. But I'm just going to go through the good things that are going to be happening within this patch. So this is the patch that's going to be bringing out Shadows of Change 2.0. So as you can see, we have all of the Tzeentch units that have been added, all of the Cathey units that have been added, and then finally the Kislev units at the bottom. And we also have a look at Katherine's sleigh. So this is the Ice Court sled for Catherine, which is an FLC, which is going to be given to everyone, whether you own the Shadows of Change DLC or not. It's quite cool. The horses are a little bit goofy. I wish this was the one thing that did have polar bears. I know there's already a lot of bears in Kislev already, but I kind of had the whole like Narnia feel of the Ice Witch being carried by a load of polar bears on a sleigh. But whatever, I'm sure it'll be good. It's better than nothing. She needs a sleigh, but let's see how it plays out in game. But there's a few other highlights that I want to point out here. So there's the bloom tweaks. So what they have done is essentially reduce the glare of the battle campaign map. So as you can see, the top is the old one and the bottom is the updated version. There's a lot less glare, a lot less dust and haze and things, and it's just a lot cleaner and a lot nicer, which would be good. Another change they've done, which to be honest I can't really see a massive difference to what they've done, but essentially what they've done is a corruption borders change. So what they say here is that they've smoothed out some of the corruption borders, so it's less like jiggered and yeah, jagged, blocky in appearance, is apparently what they said. But to seeing the two pictures here, I can obviously see slight bits of difference, but it's nothing too crazy. So I don't really understand what they've done here, but cool, I guess. Let's hope we can notice it better on other parts of the map. But to be honest, I didn't see the corruption as a big problem anyway. It's just a cosmetic thing. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, moving on to the next stuff. It's nice that they've given a shout out to some of the modders here. These are some of the people that brought some of the changes in patch 4.2, which were previously mods. For example, you've got the Golden Knight here, which was introduced by Oren Gilvis. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Law of Hags and so on. So that'd be nice to give these guys a little shout out. Stability and performance changes, as we would expect. Gameplay, there's nothing too interesting here. It's just mainly bug fixes. There is a little option you can change now. So when looking at the map, you can change it to see certain borders much clearer. So you can see the ownership and province borders, the ownership and regions borders, or the province and region borders. I think ownership is going to be the most impactful. I would say ownership and region will probably be the better one for me, but it's just a small change, nothing too crazy. The AI rules and logic, so it fixed an AI where minor factions could not recruit multiple armies or construct siege equipment. Okay, cool. And when the AI is controlling Mother Estankia, they will now stockpile no more than 10 incarnations at a time. That's fine, but Mother Estankia just basically needed more high-tier units, to be honest. Capping that, the only reason that's a problem in the first place is because she can't recruit anything else. And I don't think it's really changed that much. But anyway, we'll get into that later on. There is also a Rampage rework, which is happening. So this is mainly to the Lizardmen. There is a few Lizardmen changes as well later on. But essentially what they've done is make it less random. So basically the old system was you have a Rampage mechanic. It hit a threshold at 75% and 40%. And then there was a random chance at those percentage points that they could go into Rampage and then basically be uncontrollable for 40 seconds. Now it's a fixed ability now. So at 75%, whether you're in combat or not, no matter what your leadership is, you will go into Rampage, and the same again at 25%. So this is for all of the, there is a list somewhere. So this is pretty much for everyone that has the Rampage mechanic already. Quite cool. I really like it. Less randomness, the better. Even though Total War is very random anyway, but I think something where you can not control your own units anymore, yeah, you need a little bit of control on that, and you need to know when that's happening. So I like this change. It's a really nice change. Stealth Lizardmen update. So what they've done here is they've kind of given the Bretonnian update to the Lizardmen. So how there's peasants and cavalry put together, and they give each other buffs. The same with Cathey. You've got the harmony system. They've basically done it here. So now you've got skinks and croxagores giving each other's buffs. So if you've got any skink units nearby to any croxagore, the skink units will gain the cause fear attribute. So skinks will actually cause fear now, which I don't think would make a difference if croxagores were nearby, because I think most croxagores cause fear already. So gaining that attribute probably won't make a difference if croxagores are nearby. And croxagore units, a small buff to their weapon strength. So very small. I think the skink one is useless. The croxagore one is nice, I guess. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but it's there. We'll see how that plays in game. And then you've got the predatory fighter ability. So a unit with this ability gains a small portion of melee attack and speed whenever an enemy that have recently fought is routing. So basically all of these units down here will gain melee attack and speed if someone they were attacking has just started fleeing, so they can start hunting them down like the predators that they are. Moving on, you've got the Sacred Duty and Eternal Duty. So this is a change for Temple Guards. It's basically the Temple Guard and the Regiment of Renown. So basically what they do now is if they are near a lord, they cause fear. And there is one that becomes... Yes, so the regular Temple Guard are now immune to psychology and cause fear. And then the Regiment of Renown Temple Guard becomes unbreakable. So it's very nice. Causes fear is always really good, although it seems like everyone's going to be causing fear now in the Lizardmen army. But they're going to feel a little bit like vampire counts in a way. Everyone's just going to be running off the field. This is going to be horrible for Skaven players. And then you've got a nice solar engine update here, where anyone near the solar engine will now regen vigor. Yeah, it will just regen vigor to anyone in the surrounding area. There is a slight change to elementals. So elementals now are no longer unbreakable. So you had these units here. Actually, no, I think it was just the elemental bear, which was unbreakable. But now all three of these are elemental. So basically that means they are resistant to fear and terror. They have slight physical resistance. But I think they now start to crumble. Yes. But when... But take damage when their leadership is broken. Yes, so they're basically like demonic units and undead units now. So the elemental bear has kind of got a slight nerf. Although it does get a slight bit of physical resistance. Fear and terror he's already got anyway. So he's immune to both of those. So he gains physical resistance, but he's no longer unbreakable. And they start decaying over time. And I don't think the elemental beast was unbreakable. And the Cronemen definitely weren't unbreakable. But now they crumble over time. There is a slight, not change to constructs, but some of the units have been given the construct trait, meaning that some of these guys are also not unbreakable. So the Terracotta Sentinel is no longer unbreakable and will start to crumble. That's a massive nerf to the Terracotta Sentinel. And the same with the Rogue Idol. The Rogue Idol, again, was also previously unbreakable, but now has the construct trait, so will crumble over time. The Glorious Charge trait has been added for Kislev. So basically what this does is it doubles the time that the charge bonus is active, as well as giving additional leadership penalties when being attacked in the flank. So this is to most of the... Oh, it's actually to Cetra as well. It's not just for Kislev, but mainly Kislev. So you got Wing Lancers, the Griffin Legion, Boris on a horse, the Golden Knights, so all of the horse cavalry for Kislev and Cetra for some reason. But that's good because Cetra's chariot was shit. You would always end up going on the War Sphinx instead. And all of these units, units with this attribute take no penalties when flanked. So that's also really good. These are also immune to being flanked themselves. The Bastilla... Oh, Oh no, what am I talking about? No, sorry, these guys aren't immune to flanks. The Bastiladon is immune to being flanked. So, yeah, Bastiladons can no longer be flanked. Okay, that just makes them tankier. So you've got extra details here about the revealed trait. So units with this attribute are permanently visible to the enemy regardless of line of sight. The hide, forest, stalk, unspottable attributes are also negated by this attribute. The revealed attribute is generally used offensively to reveal enemy units within an area. I don't know who this is applying to. And then there's silence. Units with the silence attribute are unable to use active abilities or cast spells. This attribute is generally used offensively to shut down spellcasters. I don't know what that's being applied to. It doesn't actually say the units that this is on, but okay. There's also a mount scale fix. So in previous release, we made some changes to fix mount issues, which caused character mounts using a Warbeast 2.0 tech. A new bit of tech we made for Warhammer 3 to support synchronized rider animations on large mounts to be rescaled. We've gone through and adjusted the scaling and affected characters to bring this back into alignment. So Karfrand is now larger. He is bigger. Yes, Karfrand is bigger now. There's a few race balances. I'm not going to go through all of the details. Yeah, I'm just going to go through some little things here and there. Basically campaign fixes. So there's campaign fixes. Fix an issue where Beastmen Herdstone's effects were not being cleared when the Herdstone settlement was occupied by another faction. Fix an issue where Beastmen buildings increasing the rate of tower fire for the player rather than the decrease. Yeah, we've all seen this bug. So that bug that Legends of Total War showed off has been fixed. And fix the Beastmen War Gore hero replenishment embedded army action not functioning correctly. Okay, so fix a few issues there. Unit changes, not going to go through all of these. There's a lot. Bretonnia, fix special settlements, Castle, Drakenhof, Khorne, not providing Bretonnian factions with the correct amount of growth. Okay, so they get more growth now. Green Knight has been buffed to get physical resistance. I think there is a change to... Was there a change to ethereal units? Oh, am I making that up? No, maybe I'm making that up. Yes. So, moving down. There's nothing really for Dark Elves. Dwarfs got a nerf. The Spirits are got a massive nerf, actually. That's a real shame for Belagar. Cathey, technology tree rebalance. So, the technology tree for Cathey has been balanced. Has had a balance pass to bring it more in line with other tech trees in Warhammer 3 in aim to, which is really bad actually, because most of the tech trees in Warhammer 3 are dog shit. Pointing at you there, Nurgle and Kislev. And I think Tzeentch is okay. Tzeentch's tech tree is okay. Khorne's tech tree is okay. I'm not sure about Slaanesh's, but most of Warhammer 3 tech trees are crap. This is generally made to remove underwhelming or filler effects that were nice to have, but not potent enough to pursue. So basically they made everything a little bit better, and here are all the changes there. I'm not going to go read through all of them. And Yuan Bo begins his campaign with a Gatemaster, which I believe was the new hero. Am I correct in saying that? A Gatemaster, that's the new hero, right? Yeah, Gatemaster is the new hero. So he starts with the new hero. That's great. Where are we? So yeah, a lot more changes here. I'm not going to read through all of them. Fix an issue where the Stormwind... not getting an issue. Okay, well, some items been fixed. Okay, that's fine. GreenSkins. So rogue idols obviously are no longer unbreakable, and now they have the construct ability. To change this, they have been reduced in price because this is a massive nerf. To make up for that, losing the unbreakable trait and getting crumbling is awful. And that's obviously the same for the other rogue idol. No other changes there. Basic changes for High Elves. Not really any changes for Khorne. Kislev, only unit balancing. Nothing really interesting to talk about here. Okay, half the size, but now have the full ethereal package. These are units summoned by the Hag Witch beasts. I think that's talking about the things in the wood. I think that's talking about the things in the wood. Okay, yeah, it's talking about this unit. It's half the size as it was before. Yeah, but apart from that, they're all just balance changes. Nothing interesting. Snow Leopard recruitment is now available at tier 2. I think it was at tier 3 before. And Elemental Beasts recruitment available now at tier 5 of Forest recruitment. Fix an issue where Hag Witches, which heroes would spawn with legacy innate traits that have gone out of fashion. Okay, fine, whatever. This is a nice change. So Kroq-Gar was actually the weakest Scar veteran. Now he gained 1% weapon strength per rank, as the Saurus Old Bloods were cheekily ending up stronger than him at rank 50. So now he gets 1% stronger every single level, going up to 50% stronger, which is nice. Fix 2 of Tehenna1's sacrifices to Sotek, not unlocking the correct tier. Cool. And then the rest of it is just balance changes. Norsca. I don't know what this means as such, because it talks here about the Kislev. It talks about the Frostworm has suddenly remembered that he is in fact and always have been called Chaos Frost Dragon. So I think that what they've done is just changed the name. I don't actually think anything has happened. I don't think Norsca has gained the new unit from Kislev. I think what they've done is just changed the name to Chaos Frost Dragon and moved on with that. Nurgle, nothing really, not surprised. Probably waiting for Thrones of Decay. Clan Molder now correctly gets juice from the exotic animals and fur resource buildings. Very nice. Slaanesh now gets timber. He didn't get timber before, so he can now have more resources to trade. The Empire fixed the forts, not reducing attrition at all 5 levels. And the Huntsman General skill, experienced hunter, now correctly enables bonus versus large ammo for Huntsman and Archer units. Cool. Tomb Kings. Okay. So that's just Cetra's many names. Now gains the Glorious Charger attribute, which we spoke about earlier. And then there's just a few changes. Fixed an issue where changeling schemes to infiltrate a settlement could be completed by constructing an allied outpost. So yes, that's been fixed. Changeling has become slightly harder now, but still impossible to lose. So when using Grimoire's gain now correctly display under the high. Okay, so basically there's a UI. The UI works better now for the unholy manifestations. And then there's just some more balance changes and so on. Vampire Coast, nothing interesting. Again, vampire counts. The vampire counts follower Gravedigger now correctly reduces raise the dead cost when equipped by a hero. Cool. And Vlad von Karstein's skill Lawmaster, Law of Vampires, now reduce the winter magic cost for his version of the transformation of Cadden spell rather than Curse of Years, which he did not have access to. Good. Warriors of Chaos. Be'lakor's faction effect. Minus 20% upkeep for demon units now correctly applies to all demon units. Good. Warriors of Chaos will now gain souls from raising Chaos Dwarf settlements, from sacrificing Chaos Dwarf captives post-battle. I did not know that was an issue, but good. They must have been seeing them as like demons or something, so they wouldn't get souls. I maybe, I don't know. Wood Elves. I think this is just fixing voice lines. Yeah, nothing interesting there. When performing a ritual of rebirth, as the Wood Elf Forest health will no longer decline. During the ritual, once completed, Athel-Loren Forest health will no longer naturally decline. Fine, doesn't really matter anyway. And yeah, that's kind of it. I think that's everyone. Yeah, and then there's just more unit balances. Yeah. And then there's just a few bug fixes, crashes, and things like that, which I'm not going to go through. And that's pretty much it. And then the next thing they talk about is we're going to get a few hot fixes here and there, as well as hinting towards the Nurgle Empire and Dwarf DLC, Thrones of Decay, which I've been talking about a lot lately on my channel. So if you haven't seen them, go check that out. But my idea on the update, it's cool. I'm just disappointed that the 3 Showcase Legendary Lords haven't actually got any changes to their faction. I would like to see the Changeling actually be challenging and replayable. Mother Istankia, she needs more beasts, or she needs to go either more beasts or more access to Kislev units. I don't care which way she goes, but she hasn't got enough units to play with now. Even with the DLC, the new DLC units, most of them don't make sense, to be honest. The Golden Knight doesn't make sense for her. These guys don't make sense for her. The Frostworm, fine. They actually make sense. I can see that. Doesn't make sense for her. Law of Hags, obviously, but 3 out of the 4 units don't make sense to her at all. So it's really disappointing for Mother Istankia. I still think she's a little bit left in the dark. Yuan Bo is fine. Yuan Bo was always fine. He was the best campaign out of the 3. And I think he's also got the best units out of the 3 as well. The Legendary Hero is really good. The Gatemaster Hero should be really good. The Great Moonbird, having like a Phoenix unit, is really good. And then the Celestial Lion mount is really good. I think Cathay got the best again. Tzeentch units are boring. Let's see if these 2 actually feel unique, but who knows. Boring and boring. But yeah. I think the patch itself is really good. Some of the units are really good. The biggest loser is Tzeentch. The biggest winner is Cathey, and Kislev is somewhere in the middle. That's kind of my opinion, but I wish there was more changes to the actual factions slightly. But anyway, the patch is going to be out tomorrow. It seems like I'm going to be playing a Mother Istankia campaign on stream. That will be as soon as the patch is released. That is the one that's currently winning my poll at the moment. If you don't want me to play Mother Istankia and you want me to play one of the other 2, quickly go place your vote in the poll. It will be on my community section on my channel. But until then, guys, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.